Good morning, everyone. This is John with Yard to Table Appalachian Homesteading, and this is Angel. We're out here this morning. We're going to do a garden tour, and we're going to show you some of the things that we got growing on here, and we're going to talk about some new raised beds I'm putting in. Yeah, I'm still adding, I'm still growing. I've got issues, I think, but yeah, I ended up with a whole lot of peppers. You might have saw the last video where I did a pepper rescue and bought a bunch of hot peppers for $1. How could you not buy them? I mean, I don't even like hot peppers, but I know people do, and I enjoy seeing them because I think they're absolutely beautiful, especially when they're canned. But I've got 100 pepper plants. Yep, they're not all planted, unfortunately, and that's what these beds here are for. I've got 2 beds on this side going in, and I'm going to put 2 more beds on that side. Yeah, they said, John, start out with 1 raised bed and get a feeling of how things are growing, and next year maybe go with 2. So far this year, I've got 9 of these big beds, and I've got some smaller beds for succulents, and I bought 1,000 succulents to do for the homesteading project here, and we're growing them, and I'm going to show you those succulents. They're doing okay, and actually, for my first time, my garden's not doing too bad. For my very first time ever growing a garden, I've got some things growing. I got some things growing, I don't know what it is. Actually, later today, we're going to film another video. You're going to want to make sure to watch that one too, because I bought a mixed pack of ornamental miniature gourd seeds. Yep. That didn't work like I had planned. As you can see right back here, I have some gourds growing up through here, and that's what I wanted. But no. There were some other things mixed in with those gourd seeds, and really threw a wrench in the way I'm wanting to do this. So I'm going to have to take a few of those out and replant some things late in the summer. It's June 15th today, and that's late in the year to be planting anything really, but people do succession planting, which means my cucumbers that are doing good right now, in another 4 to 5 weeks, they'll be done. So I'll need to start planting some more cucumbers to take their place, and maybe a few other things, I don't know, but we're going to look around, and I'm going to show you some things. And I've got all this soil sitting out here, and I've got 1 raised bed here ready to go this morning. I'm going to dump this soil in here as soon as I take you on the garden tour, and I'm going to mix it up. The very first beds over here, these first 5 beds, ended up being kind of a rush job, in that, one, I didn't know what I was doing too much. I was learning on the internet, but yet I was still comprehending things slowly. I was trying to go the cheap route and buy the cheapest soil that I could buy at Lowe's, because they'll deliver it. And I bought garden soil. And garden soil and raised bed soil are 2 different things. Yeah. Actually, I bought some organic raised bed soil from Miracle Grow. It's 1.5 cubic feet for $10. And it would take 48 cubic feet to fill up this bed. So in the raised bed soil, we're talking between $300 and $400 to fill up 1 4-foot by 12-foot by 1 foot high bed. $300-400. So I try to go cheaper and use garden soil on these beds, and that was on sale for $2 for, I think, 1 cubic foot for $2. And I had about 200 bags delivered, and I put that in the bottom, and then I did use the raised bed soil on top of that. But now I understand that was wrong, and that's going to probably give me problems, in that garden soil, like this soil we got right here. Now, don't you get my coffee? She drinks my coffee if she can. Garden soil is for in-ground use in your native soil, to mix in with it, to amend it. And so it gets compacted. And that's not what you want, because then that makes it hard for the roots to grow through, and also makes it hard for it to drain. So even though it's only 12 inches tall, there's a good 8 inches of compacted soil in there. And as you can see, it's not caused much of a problem right now. But as time goes on and this compacts and gets tighter and tighter, I'm going to have to dig that out, or at least amend it somehow with some perlite. So garden soil like this is not what you want to put in a raised bed, because you want that soil to be able to drain and to be light and fluffy. And garden soil is dense and compact, and it will not let it drain good. Although I'm having no draining problems right now. It will eventually get tighter and tighter, and it will not drain good, and it gets tighter and tighter, and it makes it harder for the roots to grow in the soil. So this time, after a little bit of research, I have my own components to make up the raised bed soil this time. And Miss Angel's going to make sure I do it right today. We're going to mix in the garden soil, but we're also going to use perlite. I've got 4 cubic feet of perlite over here. Now, I'm not for sure that we're going to use all 4 cubic feet of the perlite, but what we're going to do is basically make a potting mixture, or a very lightweight, well-draining mixture. We're going to use some organic raised bed soil. Now, this is broke down in 3 different sections, 3 4-foot by 4-foot sections. So it's 4 foot by 4 foot, and then you got these little dividers in here. And I kind of divided this out into each section of what I'm going to put into each 4-foot section. And I do have cardboard down in here, and it is wet this morning. For some reason, I have no idea, they say wet that before you put the soil on top of it, the cardboard. If you know why that is, let me know. It has something to do with something. I don't know, so I'll just wet it. But today's mixture will have raised bed soil, organic raised bed soil from Miracle Grow. It'll have Miracle Grow garden soil. It'll also have evergreen compost and manure, and it will have perlite, and it will also have peat moss. That's right, peat moss. And the peat moss is right over here, and I'm going to show you that in a minute when I get the camera down and start walking around showing you things. And I'm going to mix all that together, and yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ingredients that I'm going to put in this here. And it is an experiment on growing peppers. Now, 100 peppers is what I'm going to end up with, hopefully. I gave quite a few away to some people, but I seed planted a lot of sweet peppers, red bell peppers and lunchbox peppers, and then I bought, I think I bought 24 starter plants back early spring. That's up, they're about 2 foot tall. I don't know, I've never grew peppers. I'm going to expect they're going to get maybe 3 foot tall, because right now I'm going to show you the peppers on them here in a minute. So let's get going on this garden tour and get that camera down here and let you look around the garden and see some of the things that's growing, and see some of this soil and these raised beds. And I've got 2 here on this side that's put together, and I don't have soil to finish all of them. Well, I've got a little bit of soil for this back one back here. I'm almost gonna finish it, but the other 2 beds, no soil. I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale, and that might be, who knows when. But so I got 4 more raised beds. These 2 beds on this side will be peppers, and then on that side I plan on eventually putting strawberries in there. But we got a lot to look at this morning. Get your coffee. Let's look, get to looking around and see what's growing on here today. All right, here is a few onion peppers. Now, I have grew these in the garage, started them as seeds. Now, here is some gourds and some miniature pumpkins. These are supposed to be some mixed ornamental gourds that I have not planted yet. But here is what all those raised beds are for. Look at all this. Now, these, in these cups and trays, I planted. I recycled the cups. Nope, this did not come from Bonnie. Originally, those are Bonnie cups, were my original plants out there and a few things. But look at there, Angel. What do you think? It's not a bad looking pepper plant. And then I found these plants as a dollar rescue, most of them. Yeah. So how could I not want to bring home an extra heirloom Mr. Stripey for $1, or a beefsteak tomato for $1. Yes, I know, John, it's late in the year. These are going to be hard to get going because I know I planted some of these already. And let's look at the ones I planted out here, about 4 or 5 days ago. Oh, here's my carrots. They're finally starting to come up a little bit. But here's some of these same plants, and you can see they've already got quite a bit bigger, but they have been a struggle out here in this heat. I finally just got some more mulch mounded up around them, but with 90-degree temperatures that we've been having, up 85, 87, 89 degrees, it has been a fight keeping these upright. They wanted to collapse because of the heat. Now here are some of the succulents that I'm growing. We're not going to talk about them too much today because we'll come back to another video on them. And greenhouse. Yeah, I got that also. And now look at this gorgeous tomato here, guys. This is my very first tomato plant to produce anything, a cherry tomato. I've had to put another cage around it. It has got picked yesterday. Mary was here visiting, and she got all the cherry tomatoes to take to her mom and dad. But look at this, it's setting some fruit up here, and hopefully each one of these will set and get a tomato on them. Now, I'm noticing I've not got really enough pollinators around here. I need some more bees to keep things moving as far as keeping these things pollinated like they need to. And I see them all down in there, you see them? So this is going to be absolutely gorgeous in a few more weeks. And here's one of those plants that came out of the cups that's doing better. The heat was absolutely brutal on them last week, but yeah, they're doing better. So I'm going to show you some of these right here. Check these out. We're actually going to harvest some of these later today and make another video. But check out all of these banana peppers. There's like 20 probably on that one. And same way here. This was just loaded with banana peppers. And let's see here. Bell pepper here. I got 12 total banana peppers originally, and they've all lived. Now, here's another banana pepper. I'm not for sure where it came from, but here's a bell pepper. This could be red bell. I'm not for sure what this would be. Yellow. And then here's some purple ones. Check these out. This is a purple. Let's get over here. Look at this one. I think I still got the tag to it right here. See if I can get in here. See that? That's a purple bell, and it's actually, even at this very small stage, has already turned purple. And I've actually got 3 of these plants, or 4, originally planted, and then I actually bought this one extra, and this one's called a lilac, which looks basically about the same. It almost looks like sun scald at first, but this is a purple pepper. If you've ever had purple peppers, let me know in the comments. Now, here are some of the tomato plants that are just now I've got them in the cages. I need to start thinning them out a little bit. They've got some suckers on them that probably need to come off and a few things, but I've just not had time on the tomatoes to really get the suckers off of them. But yeah, I've got multiple other smaller peppers. Here's a jalapeno pepper. That's actually Dustin's pepper that he brought and planted here. But there's other small peppers. And then these are my pollinators, tractors. Oh, there's a bee right there. Hey, buddy. I scared him off. Oh, no. But look at these. Ain't this gorgeous? We planted these by seed. Mary and I did. These, not these. We bought these in cups, but in trays. But we got 3 different of these marigolds varieties, and we seed started them. Now this one's coming out, doing okay. And look at this one here. Don't know what it is, but it's growing okay. And some of these in here that I put in here were for shade, and this is full sun out here, so they've been struggling. Like these little plants right here, you can see they're struggling. I need to retransplant them somewhere besides here because they don't like the full sun. But some of these marigolds and different things I pulled out of the beds just due to the fact, like this one, I had planted so many, they just kind of got growing crazy, and I pulled them out of here now to just have them out here to have somewhere to put them. But this is my ideal vision of having things on this trellis growing and coming down. Like a little bit later today, we'll be harvesting these cucumbers for a video, and we'll be making something with those and the banana peppers. And I love the way these cucumbers climb, and I'm always trying to find and see where cucumbers are hiding at. Now this is what I envisioned with growing some gourds, some miniature decorative gourds. Look at that. Ain't that absolutely beautiful? Those gourds, and then got one all the way down here, and they're coming up through here. And then this one here, it's a little bit different, I think. Possibly it could be the same one. Looks a little different shape, different texture. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I know this is my first year, so I'm still learning, guys. I don't know everything, but I know that some of these have got to be pollinated. You see, like down here, actually see, oh, there was a bee in that one. So they've got to be pollinated. So this one, it's kind of growing. You can see it's got a tendril that's right out here and got a hold of this, but I generally break those loose and I set these up here to where I want them to grow, and I kind of train these up the trellis. As you can see, they're going there. And then this is what we're going to talk about. These are some other gourds, yeah, down in there. We're going to talk about them. Right here's a good one. See this one right here? Gourd or acorn squash? Mystery. Gourd or acorn squash or hybrid. We're going to talk about that on an upcoming video we're going to film later today. I wanted to come out here and do this garden tour this morning because we're going to be working inside later today and let you see some of this stuff in here that we're going to be harvesting. We're going to get some of those cucumbers over there. I might have a few more cucumbers over here. Oh, there's some. They're not quite big enough yet. But as you can see, this one, he doesn't like far till he's reached the middle. How about that one? And these are some lunchbox peppers right here, I believe. No, maybe these are bell peppers too. Maybe these are the lunchbox peppers here. Yeah, see these long peppers here. We've got maybe 20 on there. So yeah, peppers is my main focus, and then strawberries. The strawberries, I've been battling with them, with things trying to eat them, trying to learn. Now these are daughter plants that have come off shoots, and I will replant those. I think I'm going to put, just like on the other side, let me show you these two beds here real quick. I've added these two beds. I'm not going to add any further walkway over there, just an inlet right here so I can come in, and if I need to, I will just mow out here. So no more mulch out here. So this is going to be kind of a bop out, and this is all the stuff. All of that is going to go in one bed. Plus, let me unroll this. This is the peat moss, and I've been wetting it. It comes in a hard cubic bale, 3 cubic feet bale, and hard to deal with. So you have to wet it and let it break down. And yeah, after the tour, we're gonna mix that up. And then tonight, I'm gonna plant my peppers in it. So let's look at this one here, see what's growing here. Oh, look at this. Oh, ain't that just beautiful. I love that. This is what I was looking for when I was growing gourds, was gourds that would climb. See this? Here's another possibly climbing gourd. I know there's people gonna make comments saying, John, you don't even know what you got. No, I really don't. Especially on this mixed gourd seed, it really threw me off. Peppers, 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 tomato, peppers, 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 pepper plant, zucchini, no, squash. I don't know. See, I don't know if these are actually eatable. I thought these were zucchini. They've turned out to be squash. Oh, here we got some bell peppers sitting on this one. Might be another purple one right here. See that coming? That might be another. I didn't keep up with them. Yeah, I know. That was my worst problem, is keeping labels and keeping things marked what they were. We get a lot of, early in the morning, we get a lot of mushrooms come up, but they'll be gone here in just a little bit. Check these out over here. In a few hours, when that sun gets out, they'll be gone, especially on hot days. So here's more peppers. So apparently I've only got 5 plants on this side. Oh, there's the other purple pepper, another purple one. See it back in there? So there's a purple one. Banana pepper, bell pepper, probably red, orange, I have no idea. Oh, and some of this squash is going to get intrusive to my peppers, and it's going to have to go or be cut back. I'm not much of a squash eater. I'm really interested in the peppers. And oh, here's a cucumber. Wow, that one has really did a curly Q on us, so I'm not for sure what's going on there. But yeah, so we got another one growing up through there. And these are some of the pepper rescue plants, and they're already starting to look a lot better, especially some of these ones that were very low on nitrogen. This one was completely yellow like this, but now we're starting to get a little bit of darker green here and here. So I've been feeding these nitrogen a couple of times, a couple of doses of nitrogen, and oh, there's my camera. It says I've entered a monitored area. How about that? Yeah, that's nice. I like it. I love my camera system. If you want to know about my camera system, I use it. I've got one here, I've got one up there, down there, around back. Let me know. I'll put a link in the description for you if you want to know about a really cool, neat camera system that, watch it follow me. Gonna track me. But here we go. I made these raised beds basically just for gravel. And that's so that when I water these succulents, ain't these just absolutely gorgeous? Look at that. I know I said I wasn't gonna talk about the succulents, but they're coming along okay. These all need to be up potted. We did take half of all of them out and then put them back in here, and you can see they've continued to grow. I took half out and gave them space, and now they're starting to grow. Now they need to be up potted. I've just been watering them like this, and then here's some that all have to be up potted. And yeah, the beds are just kind of keep everything contained, and this gravel is so that when I water them, it doesn't just set right on the ground. The water will go right on through. But now this bed here, it's different. It has soil in it, and these will stay here. This will be my personal succulent garden, and they're just now, after about 2 weeks, starting to, maybe 3 weeks, starting to really take hold and grow. And the succulent is doing good in here. Now right here is another plant I bought, and I did not get this as a rescue plant. I paid full price for it, and we're going to do a little experiment on this one. We're not going to water it today or tomorrow. We're going to wait till it wilts completely over just to bring it back. Yeah, this is a hot pepper and red ghost, and so we're going to stress it out to the point that it absolutely collapses, and then we're going to time lapse it and bring it back to life. And I did that the other day, but it was by mistake. It did not get watered. It collapsed. I thought it was gone, and it came back. So I just want to show the resilience of plants and how well they can respond to recovering. So this one's doing good. Oh, they're all doing pretty good. Now these are some of the, I wanted to show you these, I forgot about these. I don't know if this is, it's called Valencia Orange. Looks like a sweet pepper. It's actually got one started on it. Actually don't want them blooming quite right now. I want to take that energy away from producing fruit, and as bad as we hate to pull that off there, we're going to take that off there right now. We don't need it producing fruit, but we'll plant those. Hopefully we get these raised beds filled here today, tonight, tomorrow. I don't know, because these are all looking for a home. Okay, this is a greenhouse I bought. It's just a cheap greenhouse. I think it was around $350. It comes with really cheap stakes to stake it down, but I used these T-posts, drove them in, and we're also going to use ratchet straps over it. Yeah, it's not too bad. $350. It's 10 foot by, I think, 25 foot, and it is working okay. I do have a solar system here. That I use out here to run the fan on. It's completely, well, it's 75% charged if I need to. I can run lights out here at night, and I can run some fans to relieve some heat when it gets real hot. Now, these are some that have been up potted. These come in 72 cell flats, and they've been up potted to, I think those are 3-inch pots there, and those have been up potted. These have been up potted, so these are growing for the fall. These will be for sale in the fall. Here's one of them right here. Mary tells me, she says that this is going to hang over and droop down like that. I don't know. This one's dry though. I need to put this one down here. I apparently forgot to water that one. But yeah, so right now I'm keeping them in here. Come late August, I probably, or even 1st of August, this might be way too hot in here for these, and they might have to come out. But so far, it's given me a place to keep them out of the rain, where we had a lot of rain coming that really would have washed these out and flooded these out. This took about a day and a half to put together. I was going to put some raised beds down through here. As you can see, I had them sitting here, but I took them up front to put the succulents in. Okay, so this back here is the backyard garden. Oh, we have the neighbor's cows are out up here. So we have grown a lot down through here, guys. Check this out. And just do a quick walk down through here, then we'll come back and talk about some of it. This is all stuff that I wasn't for sure what to do with it. I'd planned on just putting some watermelons out here and a cantaloupe, but anyways, let's start right here. We've got a cantaloupe here, and it's got some issues with its leaves. I'm not for sure what that is, but we're getting lots of flowers on it. So if all those set in the cantaloupes and they all get pollinated, this will have a tremendous amount of cantaloupe. So this is looking good. My pepper plants back here in the back, admittedly, I've not gave them the attention as the front. Plus, they're not climbing, they're on the ground. Setting fruit good. There's a little one. But they're not growing quite as good as up front, I'll have to say. I don't think I give them as much attention back here. Look at these now. You see. Some more of these gourds that I got tricked on that I knew nothing about, but those are cute there. And look at those in there. Those are most likely miniature pumpkins, maybe. I'm not for sure. But I have really liked the way things are growing in the landscaping fabric. If you haven't seen that first video, these plants did not look very healthy when I put them out. They were really struggling. Uh-oh. What we got here? June bug. Don't think those are probably going to be good for my plants. Offie there. This one, this is going to be gourds. And see, the thing is, with mixed gourds, I didn't know which ones was climbing gourds. If I knew this was a climbing gourd when I planted it, it would have definitely went up front and got on the trellis. See there, it wants to climb. Over here, we have another climbing gourd. But when you get a mixed seed pack, until they come up, and even young, I still have a bunch planted out there. I still don't know which ones are which gourd because they're mixed. Here's the corn that I planted inside, started out inside, and it's doing okay. Can't complain about it. I'm actually looking for some cucumbers, but there's a small one. I kind of harvested everything yesterday. I need a little bit for today. Now this one, I think these were mixed seeds also on the ornamental corn, and you can see right there that has these tassels on the top of these that these don't have yet, or maybe just a different variety. Let me know in the comments what's going on, why these have tassels. I've not Google-ated that yet. I generally will Google something and can find out. Oh, there's a usable cucumber right there. We'll pick that one later today. Okay, so we got one back here, and no cucumbers in here. Dog, I need to teach you how to hunt cucumbers. Show your dad where the big ones are at. We can't let any of them get yellow on us. So these watermelons I did buy in cups. Oh, I don't know. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one didn't make it. One died. I did lose one right here. This is its tombstones. Either overwatered it or didn't water it enough, or I'm not 100% sure. So let's get a back look at it here. Come down through here, and the cow's looking over the fence. I think it's wanting some of my vegetables. So yeah, what is the deal with that one? Oh, it's pretty. Look here. I don't know. This might not even be corn. It might be molasses or sorghum. Who knows? Oh, here we go. We're getting one in here. See, down in there. So maybe they're the same thing, just developing different rates. But these actually turned out way better than I had planned. Had no clue that we'd be growing these. There we got a gourd right there. Back here in the back, these were just kind of backup plants, and just to make up for what died up front, we just didn't have anything really die up front. So, well, let's go back around front and get started on the soil. Okay, I've got my cardboard. Oh, Angel didn't like the water. I'm sorry, baby. She was enjoying the water, or no, she wasn't enjoying the water. She was enjoying the sun, and when I started with the water. All right, I've been soaking this cardboard down. Why do we soak the cardboard down before we put stuff on top of it? I have no clue, guys. Really don't. Really don't. So I've got two different things I'm going to use to mix with here as far as tools. I got I call them tater hose. It'll work okay. And then I've got just a regular yard rake. And let me bring you in over here and show you the cardboard that I put in there. Now you can use any type of cardboard that you'd like. That is to keep the weeds down. Now, some people say you don't need to put cardboard down because you're going 12 inches of something over top of this grass that'll kill it. Probably right. That's possible. Doesn't hurt to put the cardboard down. Or if you're not worried about the roots going into the ground, you can put landscaping fabric down. But then that keeps things that you want, like earthworms, coming up. And then some people might not want their bed to have earthworms in it, which is, it's good for it. So there's different thoughts on growing, and I'm learning watching people on YouTube, and now you're watching me put together my garden for the very first time ever. Not too many months ago, there was absolutely nothing right here but grass. Just a very, very few months ago, we were just unloading the the soil, the beds came in. Dustin helped me put these first beds together over here, and we got some of the parts mixed up. The side pieces look within a few inches of the same length of the end pieces, but they're not the same. So we had to take a few pieces back apart that we'd put together, and yeah. This time though, I had no problems putting these two beds together. These beds cost, and that's one of the things I've been telling you from the very beginning. I can tell you what it costs to do this, and a lot of people says, well, that's a lot of expense that you put out, John, but it's not really an expense, it's an investment. One, it's an investment for the YouTube channel because, you know, this is content and experiments in growing things from somebody from the very first time. Now, you can watch somebody's done something for 5 years, 15 years, 40 years, and they've been doing it for a while. And so for them, it's pretty natural. But for me, I'm trying to show you that a first-time grower, the first time you've ever stepped out to grow something, you can grow things. Well, at least I have. I've done fairly well, I think. There's been some failures. There's some things that I didn't care for. We ended up with some pest problems that ate the kale. And I don't really like kale, so I just let it eat the kale. And it didn't eat anything else, whatever it was. So we've had a few different little things going on, like way too much rain, and then all of a sudden way too much heat. It was 90 degrees 2 days ago, 90 degrees. Yesterday it was 85. Today it's only going to be in the 70s, 75. Today, right now, it's probably only about 70 this morning, so it is very nice to be able to work and get this one bed filled. Whether I'll get the other bed filled today, I don't think so. But so the garden soil and everything that we're putting in here has a reason for it. And we'll bring the camera over here in just a few minutes. I have been using AI to do most of this, which is basically Google searching things. A lot of people thinks that AI is going to take the world over, and it might, but I just used it for research. And one of the things it did was help me put this mixture for peppers together. This is basically what I had here already, and I told it what I had, and it put this formula together, which is pretty much basically garden soil and compost. That's it. But we're going to add some raised bed organic soil for a more earthy, more chunky. There's some pieces of wood in there to make it drain better. And there'll be a total of 6 bags of the organic raised bed soil in the whole bed. Those are 1.5 cubic bags, and they sell for around $10. On sale, I was getting them for $6. They're not on sale now, so I'm not getting any until they go back on sale. I don't care to pay $6 for them at 1.5 cubic foot is not bad. Let's just figure that up. Well, if they were on sale and you just went with straight Miracle Grow organic raised bed soil, you didn't want to mix none of this stuff, you could go with this. It is a little earthy, a little chunky, there's some bark pieces, some wood pieces in there. So 48 divided by 1.5, it would take 32 bags of 1.5 cubic feet of raised bed soil. 32, when it was on sale at $6, that would be $192 to fill this up with one type of soil that would probably be pretty good. Right now, though, with everything at $10 a bag, it would be $360. So I got this garden soil on sale in the year clearance for $2. It is not quite a cubic foot, it's 0.75. We're going to go ahead and dump one in here, and that way we can kind of see what it looks like. Now, on this side over here, I'm going to dump 1 bag of compost, which will be in this section, and so we can kind of look at the difference. The compost we're putting in here is cow manure, and this is to give us some organic matter in here, some biologics, some actual living organisms from the cow manure that'll help. And they both look similar to look at them over here, but they're not. And then on this third section over here, I'm going to go ahead and drop in a bag of the raised bed organic soil, and then we're going to come over here, and then I already have the peat moss out over here, and we're going to look at that. I'm going to take the camera down, and we're going to look at these 3 different components. Now, I've got these divided out. They'll probably mix in a little bit different because I dropped different things in, but the goal is that I can get all of this and set this up here. Let me spread some of this Miracle-Gro out. Let me spread some of this compost out, and then some of the raised bed soil. Chief Inspector's checking it to make sure it's all good. And then over here we have the peat moss. So let me get that off there, and let's put that on the gimbal and bring you over here and let you look at all this. Okay, now I've got the camera on the gimbal. So this is my choice. If you was going to pick one thing, John, and fill it only with that one thing, what would it be today? It would be this. But I don't have enough to fill it just with this, so we're going to make a custom blend using in-ground garden soil, which is a no-no just to put directly in, compost, peat moss, and perlite. So let's look at some of this right here. This is the garden soil, and you know, it's quite earthy. It's got quite a bit of wood chips in it here. So this actually, to me, doesn't look like it would compact really at all. And each time you get products, a lot of times they're sourced close, within so many miles, especially like this organic natural mulch that I've been using. Here's some of it in the beds over here. Here's a bag of it. It's around $4 a bag. Really like it. I think this is a cubic foot, 1.5 cubic foot for $4. I need way more of this. So it's going to go on top or around, at least around the pepper's base, to try to keep the heat away from the roots. Now, here is the compost. This has got some wood chips in it, looks like, and cow manure. So this is earthy too. We got a lot of woodsy type material in here. And then over here, we've got the raised bed, organic raised bed soil. And this has got even more earthy stuff in it. See here, here's a bigger chunk right here. And these pieces will decompose over time, but this helps it drain and not get so compacted. But now here is the peat moss, and I do have enough peat moss according to the mixture that I came up with formulating it online. This comes in bricks. I didn't show you that, but it's very heavy when you buy it, but it's solid, so you're gonna have to wet this. Almost reminds me of horse manure. Yeah, there's a stick that's in it. That's okay, we'll use that too. So this is going to go in the entire bed, but I got to divide this up into 3 sections, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. I need to divide that and see how many gallons. I do have a 5-gallon bucket here that I'm going to put it in to mix it. So I think there's going to be 4 5-gallon buckets of peat moss divided by 3. No clue. We can see the sun's already starting to dry some of that out, and I'm going to put this camera back up on the tripod, and that way I can work. Here is the perlite. Let me show you that. Now this is going to help make sure it drains, and now once we start adding that in there, That looks more familiar to us like what we would know as potting soil, except that this is very earthy, not fine potting soil like you'd find in a bag. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products in this beautiful raised bed. So I'm going to put this back over here. Dog, can you cut bags open? She's not going to do nothing. She's going to lay here and watch for traffic. That's about all I get out of her. Okay, so let's talk about the raised beds. They cost now around $35 for a 4-foot by 12-foot. People say, how long will that last? Not long for $35. That's my opinion. But you can't buy wood for $35, and the wood's not going to last either. So is it an economical way to do it? In my book, it is. It absolutely is. Since the bulk of what we're putting in here is going to be garden soil, we're going to go ahead and get a lot of it in here. And like there, you can kind of see it's already kind of compact, like I was talking about, a little bit more. This is going to get messy. There's going to be bags everywhere. Go ahead and throw in one of these raised bed soil bags. And now I'll take these bags, put the other bags in them here in just a little bit. We're going to get some perlite, and we're going to get 1 5-gallon bucket of peat moss over here. Now the peat moss gives it that organic matter. Peat moss holds on to water, and I really don't know all the 100% benefits of the peat moss, but I'm sure that there's some people out there watching that can give us some comments about peat moss. I'll try to look up a little bit of information. Now, I'm going to put about 1 5-gallon bucket, and my original mixture on here could be off a little bit. I was going with 24 bags of 0.75 cubic feet of Miracle Grow garden soil, and then I think 14 bags of compost and the peat moss. I don't know, it's a bunch. All right, I'm gonna bring you up here closer on this initial mixing, and we don't want to put it all in there and mix it at one time, or we never get it mixed. So we want to try to get this bottom looking the way we want it, and that way we ain't trying to mix so much soil at one time. And I really like to get in here and just do this by hand when I'm doing a wheelbarrow load, but this is quite a bit lower than a wheelbarrow load. So we can see the perlite mixing in there, and we have all of our components in there. Let's see here, let me make sure I've got all my components in there. Nope, I do not have my compost in there. So, no problem. I got each section laid out here. In case I did get off, each 4 by 4 section. I broke it all down, as you can see right there. In case I did get off, because counting these, I get off on them. I know that's not in there. So now I'm gonna open that, put that in there, and looks like we're gonna need more perlite. That's not looking like. Let's go ahead and put 2 bags of compost since we've got it right there. Now this is a mixture for peppers. It would probably grow about anything. Tomatoes, cucumbers. This would be a good mixture for lots of different things. Oh, that compost is wet. So there we go. Now, we've got, I'm just gonna eyeball this. I'm gonna put some more perlite in here. Now, if I get to have too much soil in one area, I'll just stop putting in the garden soil. So how's that looking, guys? I think now we've got the peat moss in there. We've got the compost, peat moss, raised bed soil, garden soil, perlite. And what I'm trying to do is make sure this is light. See that? That peat moss helps make that light fluffy. See how that is? We're getting there. We're getting there. It's getting hot, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start dumping some of this other stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put perlite in the bottom. Okay. Let's go ahead and, I got 1 bag of compost in here already. So let's go ahead and put a bag of this in here, or at least get it full. And I got some extra in the bottom because I did end up putting some extra in that one. So I'm going to set that there and take my knife and let's drop about half of these. I think each section gets 8. So I think that dropped half of them. Now let's drop a raised bed organic mix in there. And 1 more compost. Now I did put more in this one than I did the first one to do the initial mixing. It's getting hot, and that happens when things start getting hot. We get to working a little sloppier, but I should have mixed this a little bit better. But any and all of these products in their self, even the straight manure and compost, people plant it in it. So tell me what you all use when you're planting in your raised beds. If you're watching this, you might have raised beds, or what do you amend your raised beds with, or what do you put in your garden? Do you add garden soil like this every year to keep it, nice and amended? Do you add compost, manure, fertilize? I was watching a guy today, and he's an organic farmer, and boy, he was doing a great job. Learning a lot from him, because he was replenishing his tomato beds And those tomato beds were getting all the different nutrients and minerals and the different organic products that would make it grow very well. And I went on to watch him some more. Can't think of the name of it, I'll tell you as soon as I figure it out. I just saw it this morning. But yes, he was putting each individual, he was breaking each individual mineral down and adding it back to his tomato garden bed to get ready to plant in it. And I thought that was very neat that he was adding each, I can't even tell you what all they were because there were so many of them, which I use the Episoma. I wish I could say that. Episoma. Maybe if I can ever pronounce it one day. I know the product, I use it. It has all of that kind of built into it, so you're not having to hand mix it. But this guy knew exactly what he was doing and what he wanted in his tomatoes. And that's for this batch over here. So that was really neat seeing him break down each component. And I've got some soil coming over here, crushing in my raised bed on this side. Got to come this way. Get in here. There we go. Okay. Now I had put some rocks in here, and I did wet. I don't know if I talked about that. I might have. All the cardboard that I put down first. I said I was going to show you the cardboard. I really didn't. It's just cardboard. You didn't miss a whole lot. So this has got the raised bed soil on the bottom of it. So we're going to start this third chamber. And as you can see, I didn't fill them, the first two chambers up. I wanted to get so much in each chamber and kind of mix them. I put probably too much in that last one to mix it as thoroughly as I'd want. And you know what? I did not add my peat moss to that one. I know that one over there did not get the peat moss, so nor has this one got it. So all right, so I gotta get peat moss for both of these, and I'll put a 5-gallon bucket in each of these. My 5-gallon bucket's being used with perlite. We'll just go ahead and dump all the perlite. Let's go over here and get another 5-gallon bucket here. Yep. Starting to sweat now, guys. Starting to sweat now. It's humid today. Humid today. This will give me an idea. Yes, guys, I've got a shovel. Shovel would have been easier on my back. But, hey, a lot of people go to the gym and pay big money to work out. And here I am doing workouts. Peat moss. The same thing over there. And this will give me an idea of how much peat moss I've got left. Let's see here. Come this way. You can mix this soil right here, all of it together in a tarp, but then you got to lift the tarp into the bed. So if you got help to lift the tarp into the bed, that's good. If you don't, that's bad. So, all right, peat moss. We'll see how much components I have left over, and tonight, when it cools down, I will definitely be planting peppers in here. I need to wet this as I go, but as I wet it, I'll rinse my hands off here. As I wet it, it makes it heavy. So this morning, my goal is basically just to get this one bed filled and this excess bags up and out of here. This one has not had the raised bed soil mixture added to it. I see it laying over there. So the first time I did this, it was just two components. It was garden soil on the bottom and raised bed soil on the top. And as we've been talking about, that was not a good idea. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a few of these bags right here. I'm getting so many bags over here, I can't see what I've emptied and what I haven't emptied. So let's go ahead and gather some of these up. Now I know a lot of people will keep these and use them for garbage bags, but I use them for lawn trash. I don't use them inside my house. I know some people do. John, just take and wash them out and put them in your garbage can and you save 14 cents buying a garbage bag. No, I'm okay. I got 14 cents, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna wash these out and take them inside. I did have a comment about that I should use these in my garbage can in the house. This stuff stinks. They said just wash it out. I don't know. You know, I might do that. Maybe that's common. Maybe I'm off on that one. Maybe that's something that people do, is wash out their soil bags and use it in the house. I don't know. Let me know if you do. Alrighty. So now here's this one. This is the organic soil that I didn't add. And I'm getting down. Okay, I did add some. Okay, I get it. There's 2 bags of organic soil to each section. So yeah, I did mix it in right. I thought I'd left it out. It got mixed in. There's another one there. Oh. Yes, I know I'm breathing hard. No, I don't think I've got any issues. It's just hot and humid. Okay. All right. So let's go over here. Start back on this one. So I dump these out. I know wetting these along the way helps, but it makes the soil so heavy to try to mix. That's a lot of soil, guys. I did use logs in the first 2. I don't know that I'll ever do that again. Getting the logs is not easy. Is it, dog? You have to go in the woods to get this stuff, and it's not easy to drag it out of the woods. The rotten logs. I've got wood over there, but it's not rotten. And it wouldn't be good for the beds for quite some time. Alrighty, that one's getting a little bit more looking better. Let's see. Let's throw some compost in this one. This one has the least amount of product. So this is number 6 of the big beds I filled. I did fill smaller bed, and that took quite a bit of soil too. All right, before I add any more, I'm going to do some mixing now. Dog, are you going to be able to help me mix it any? Don't know if she's going to help me any or not. So basically, I've got some more peat moss over there that I could definitely divide up in here and put that in here. That's definitely going next. I'm gonna get down to where we have, you notice I've not got the perlite quite as much at the top. I've used more perlite probably than my original mixture calls for, but I want to make sure we don't have no problems draining. Now, one of the things that we did do on this one, not on all of it, but on some of it, we took what I call a plant auger that goes on your drill, and we drilled into the ground, directly into the ground, to make extra drainage. Now, that auger did break in the process of doing that, and we did not get another one. So there you go. We didn't get it all done. Now, I did not do that on the other ones. It was just an ideal to help. Now I'm going to get this one down to where there's only 3 bags of it left. Got compost over here. Definitely, this compost now is the cheapest. It's only about $4 a bag, and it's 1 cubic foot. And if you grow directly and solely and just compost, let me know. I've heard people do that. Let me know how your results are. Some people just put down bags of compost, and I'm thinking about doing that. Just put down a bag of compost and then cover it with landscaping fabric like I did in the back, and then just see how one $4 bag of compost does. That might be interesting. What do you guys think? Put a pepper plant, tomato plant, or maybe even do it in a pot, do it as a container. I'll do a container and in ground. I'm going to be doing a lot of different experiments, I guess you would say, learning experiments to see exactly what works, what doesn't work. What works best for me might not work best for you and your climate, your zone, your soil, your humidity. Every bit of that is all subject to a lot of different things. Now, I know for sure I did not mix this as good as I'd like to have seen it got mixed. But over time, it'll break down. I've got to go inside for a minute, and when I come back, I'm going to divide the rest of the peat moss up. All right, guys, we're getting about full. Thankfully, it's getting hot. I had to go inside and do a few things, like cool down and not pass out. It was getting a little hot this morning. Like I said, it's been 90 degrees just the day before yesterday. I think 85 yesterday. I thought it was going to be a lot cooler this morning, but boy, I'm surprised. All right, I'm going to go with the rest of this perlite, and that kind of you know, equals it out a little bit better. I don't know. So now I have got this peat moss left, and it is heavy, so I need to equal it out. And I'm just gonna pick it up and bring it over here. Watch me spill it everywhere. Nope, don't do that, Johnny. I'm gonna bring it in the middle, and yes, I'm gonna rake some of it over here, some of it over there, and divide this out a little bit more. Now, let's see here. Oh, another component we're done with. So now, get this over here out of the way. Let me start feathering it out a little bit. I still have 3 bags of Miracle Grow soil there, as you can see, and depending on how much mulch I'm going to put in here, I've got plenty enough depth. I'm about 2 inches from the top, so I'm about 10 inches of soil here, and that is going to be plenty for the peppers, I believe. They could use a lot more, but they can go on into the native soil also. Anything past that. And the reason I'm thinking of leaving more of the opening at the top is so I can put more mulch at the top. Now I probably can mulch over up above. I do have the soil here, but so it's just a matter of opinion. What would you all do? Would you leave it at about 2 inches from the top so I can put, this is what I'll be putting in there, organic mulch. This will break down very quick. Very quick it'll break down. So these beds over here probably got a little bit more soil than what we're seeing in these right now, in that I'm seeing now, I'm thinking I'd like to have more room for mulch because I'm seeing what the heat's doing. So I'm finding some things that I'm learning about the beds being really good to heat up in the mornings. That's great in the spring. But in the summertime, these beds heating up is not really good on the roots. The roots are not going to like the heat. So I already put sunshade up over here the other day. Yep, had to put some sunshade up in the middle of June. Shouldn't have to do that to August or middle of August. But it got 90 degrees in June, and with these plants being fairly new, they wasn't rooted very well. Boy, they didn't take too well to that news of the 90-degree heat. So they're standing up. I planted some of the ones I was showing you earlier over there, and they had water. It wasn't that they needed water. The heat was just really bringing those plants down to the point to where they were drooping over. And so I had to build shade. I used a folding table and used it for shade, and set it on top of the raised bed, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to need or want the rest of the soil at this time that's out here. I think this is going to about get it halfway. It's not, believe me, it's not mixed nowhere near as good as I'd like to see it get mixed, but it's mixed better, way far better than what this was done. I'd like to have seen the compost, the peat moss, and see a little peat moss there. Needed to be chunked up in there. We'll make sure we don't have any peat moss chunks in there. So this height, I do believe we might have to add a bag over here. Let me look at this side. Might be a little lower. I might can just drag some over here from that side. So this is also, you can buy some outdoor potting mix for the containers, and I've talked about that in some of my previous videos, and it's worked really good for that cherry tomato over there so far. So I'm liking that also, but I think it's like $10 for a 1 cubic bag. Yeah, so it's not cheap. If you use that in here, that would be good, but you'd have $480 in 48 cubic feet at $10 cubic foot. I might be off on the cubic foot a little bit, but yeah. Oh yes, I'm short one bag right here. I can see, overlooked one. I'm like, looks a little shallow right there, and right here it is. So I've got 3 bags from each section left over, and this one here, I got down to here, I'm like, this one seems a little low. You know what? I see why now. It was. That's why I had to pick up all of these daisy papers, all these bags, because of the not being able to see. So yeah, I wish I'd have mixed that one in a little earlier, but it'll be okay. I'm gonna bring it up now. So if I need to, I'm gonna let this set. I've got a few other things. I gotta go to town today to take care of some businesses and take care of some things. And so as much as I don't like leaving here, sometimes we have to go to town, and so I'm gonna bring you on over here. Now if I get my little fan rake, I can see some places here, and as I go through this, as I go to planting the peppers in here, I'm gonna let this settle. If this settles quite a bit more, I'll throw another bag of soil in here. And don't seem to have the perlite mixed quite as good down here. I go down a little deeper with it. But yeah, I'm gonna bring the camera over for you here. We're getting ready to close and call this video over. We're gonna get ready to film another one here in a little bit. Tracy's coming, and we're gonna do some banana pepper pickling. Yep. Well, that's the plans. Sometimes things come up and we have to reschedule, but you've seen Tracy on some of my videos over the last 6 months. She does some cooking for us on some of our cooking episodes, and she's gonna be here today to do some things. Apparently I have a lot of banana peppers we're going to be finding some recipes for, so leave me some comments on banana peppers recipes. I know a lot of people say stuff them, put meatloaf in them, or meat, cheese, different things like that. That all sounds good. But any other good recipes, including we're going to take and batter them, deep fry them. Tried some of those, and those is really good. So, all right, guys, let me bring you on over here and let you look and see what's going on. So, all right, that's what we've got right there. It's a little earthy. It's got some wood in it that will decay and break down. We don't know how it will grow, but as you can see there, right in here, I'm going to leave some room, and I've got some more soil if I want to bring it up any higher, but I don't think I do. I think I want to keep her about this height right here, so I'm learning that those roots are going to need some mulch on them, and so I don't want to cover all this space up. All right, guys, I'm going to call it quits right now, because we're actually got to get ready for another video. Like I was talking about, Tracy will be here later, and so we got to do some things in the kitchen and clean up. I got to clean this mess up. I will probably plant peppers tonight. Be looking for that video. I might try to get that videoed if I can. And we'll see how they grow in here. We'll see if this mix works better than over here. Over here, so far, so good. We got some stuff growing in 5-gallon containers. We're gonna grow peppers in those. So we're gonna have a lot of peppers. I just think that peppers are beautiful. Not that I eat the hot peppers, but I just think they're beautiful plants, and the fruit is beautiful. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody that has subscribed. We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button, become a part of our community, and follow along with us as we grow and learn as we grow. God bless you all. Bye-bye.